The only thing he's missing is the pocket protector.
Well, he doesn't need it.
No.
Okay, Saturday morning, but not that long after this show's probably over, we have back to Axxess. We have the semifinal matchups, first round of the semifinal matchups for all the tournaments. It would be the winner of Leo Rush and Buddy Murphy versus Lindsay Dorado, Raul Mendoza. Fabian Aichner, Jason Kincaid versus Akira Tozawa or Kona Reeves. Nikki Cross, Aaliyah versus Dakota Kai, Lacey Evans, and Mustache Mountain or Tito Sabatelli and Rick Moss versus either the Street Profits or Cesar Bononi. And Adrian. And then at 10 a.m., you have the semifinals also of Chris Dijak or Davari versus Tommy or Wolfgang, Kairi Zane or Bianca Blair versus Royce or Candice LeRae, Sanity or Forgotten Sons versus TM61 or Only Lorcan and Denny Burch. Take a breath and continue. 11 o'clock over at the Sugar Mill. One of my favorite titles is the Wrestling Revolver Pancakes and Pile Drivers. Now, are they allowed to use this name in Louisiana, Rich?
I'm hoping, because otherwise they're gonna have a problem. I think it might, they might turn it into beignets and body slams or something.
Grapes and crushes.
Yes, crepes and crushes. There you go. We have the AEW Heavyweight Championship match, ACH versus Trevor Lee. Okay.
Yay.
Sure, I want that match. The AEW Revolver Tag Team Championship ladder match versus the besties in the world versus Wentz and Xavier versus the Aussie Open. We have Jeff Cobb versus Shane Strickland, Eddie Kingston versus Juice Robinson, Sami Callihan and David J. Christ versus A.R. Fox, Joey Janela, and Brian Cage, and the Lucha Brothers versus Teddy Hart and Jack Evans. Rich, this card, go.
This is nuts. I'm like, why? How am I even eating in the morning and having this just in my face? The Lucha Brothers versus Teddy Hart and Jack Evans. That's the match where you're definitely going to get a spit take by the commission person, because someone's going to tell Teddy Hart all the things he can't do, and he's going to do 20 of them.
At least.
Oh, I forgot about
and blaming him on his cats.
I forgot a match I wrote down. It's Cole Cabana and Marty DeRosa versus Joey Ryan and Session Moss. The Moth. There you go.
My question is it all you can eat pancakes?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's a very good question.
I think it is.
Well, there you go.
Oh, there you go. It makes it more fun.
Yeah.
It does make it more fun. Well, if you don't feel like having pancakes, you can jump over to the convention center for Progress. My favorite show title of the entire weekend. Bourbon is also a biscuit. My favorite title of the entire weekend. And before we get into it, I'll also throw it over to Haydn for the thoughts on this show. Let's go on to the other show going on in New Orleans. My personal favorite title of all shows at WrestleMania weekend, and it's Chapter 67. Bourbon is also a biscuit.
Is that on the menu for the restaurant there?
I've been saying it all for 2 weeks. This is my favorite name of a show all weekend.
Didn't you just shorten it and just say bourbon biscuits?
No, bourbon is a biscuit. It's
Okay.
also a biscuit.
Right.
I love it. So, we only have 3 matches announced because, well, they're getting 8 more matches after Chapter 6, obviously. Mm-hmm. But we have Chris Brooks versus Ray Horse.
I don't know anything about his opponent, but Chris Brooks is he's been very popular in Progress over the last year. He was part of the CCK faction, which was himself, Travis Banks, and another guy called Kid Lycos. But obviously Travis Banks has branched off into singles action. Kid Lycos got a really quite serious shoulder injury. So he's been a bit of a singles star in Progress and all over the UK independent scene. And he's not a wrestler to my taste. He's a bit of a lad's lad type of character, and he does things like stick his finger in his mouth and then puts it in the opponent's ear and things like that when he's got him in a headlock. Just little things like that which the crowd are eating up, but it's not really to my taste. But he is a very good wrestler in his own right, though.
So as he has people in the headlock, he takes his finger, puts it in the mouth, and puts it in the air.
Like a Wet Willie?
Wet Willie? Yeah.
A Wet Willie. Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah.
Wouldn't you call him by his new wrestling name, Wet Willie? I mean,
next time I go to Progress, I'm going to start that chant.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be his gimmick, you know.
All right.
Yeah, I'll certainly try and start that chant the next Progress. So
there you go, something to try for.
We have Will Ospreay again everywhere versus Austin Theory.
Austin.
There you go.
Oh, sorry, I lost you there. Sorry, what was the match?
It's Will Ospreay versus Austin Theory.
I don't actually know a lot about Austin Theory. Is he an Evolve wrestler?
I'm not sure. Let me look it up. It was on their Instagram page, which is where I found all these matches. So. Yeah.
I don't think he's a British-based wrestler.
But of course, we already talked about Will Ospreay like crazy. Everyone loves Will Ospreay. It feels like.
He's just insane.
Will Ospreay is going to be the next breakout star. I can tell you right now.
Well, he is one of the champions in New Japan. So.
And the thing is, when he and Jay White had their series of wrestling matches, I mean, it was great to watch those two work against each other. It was a great program, and they both showcased each other's talents. So, like I said, don't be surprised if Will Ospreay comes down to probably the performance in our NXT, and by the end of 2018, you find him affiliated with NXT.
Austin Theory is like wrestling like 8 matches at Mania weekend, according to Instagram. He's in a whole bunch of different matches all over the place. So it's probably one of those things. They probably got him because he's everywhere.
Yeah, he's a lot of the matches for Chapter 67, I think, are going to be set up Chapter 66. So a lot of the matches already announced is going to be the regulars against some of the Evolve guys, which is why I thought Austin Theory was one of them.
But we do have one big match that was announced. I think this is like the second match they announced for the entire weekend. It is a Progress Wrestling number 1 contendership match. It is the Progress Atlas champion Walter versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh yeah, of course, I did hear about that. That's going to be great. That's going to be one of those ones where you're going to be hiding behind your hands as they're hitting stiff chop after stiff chop. I sat in the front row for Matt Riddle against Walter back in Birmingham in July, I think it was, last year, and I was literally cringing just at how stiff they were working. And I can see Zack Sabre Jr. just being exactly the same as Matt Riddle in terms of just taking shot after shot from Walter and vice versa. It's gonna be a stiff one, I tell you that.
So is this gonna be a contest to see whose chest gets pinked first and start having maybe some minor blood coming out of this?
I was going to say it's more than likely going to be. It's going to be who can get the most blood from the chest.
Wow. By the way, I wanted to ask your opinion. What's your opinion on Zack Sabre Jr.'s whole run in New Japan recently?
I've really enjoyed it. I thought it's been great. He's been the stereotypical football hooligan or soccer hooligan, I suppose, in terms of his behaviour and his carefree attitude and sort of heel work. I just think he's been doing some great stuff. You know, a lot of people haven't sort of seen the character side of Zack Sabre Jr., but people who watch Progress have seen that he has got an ability to portray a character very, very well, and I'm just glad he's had the opportunity in Japan to do it. And obviously, with the success that he's had, it sort of just shows how good and how well thought of he is.
And the matches we have are Progress Wrestling number 1 contendership, and come on, this is ridiculous. Progress Atlas champion Walter versus Zack Sabre Jr. Give me a break. Austin Theory versus Will Ospreay, and Chris Brooks versus Ray Hart. Walter and Sabre Jr., Rich, really? Wow.
Yeah. It's a talls and smalls match, as the gentleman from Men in Blazers always say. That's going to be nuts. And it's going to be a situation where Zach's going to have to keep him on the ground, or Walter's going to chop his body into oblivion.
When I read, and that was the first match they announced for this show, and I'm like, you don't have to announce anything else. Like,
no. And some of the matches are going to be added, because the one thing I do enjoy about Progress is they try to keep the since these are chapter shows, each chapter builds upon another. So there will be matches that have something whatever happens in Mardi Gras will affect matches they create for Bourbon is Also a Biscuit.
Dad, your thoughts on this?
Oh God, isn't this about the time when basically your brain gets a little OD'd on all the wrestling going on and it's still numb?
No, it's only noon. It's only noon on Saturday. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but if you start the WrestleMania weekend into all the matches that you just want, this is when your brain kind of gets a little numb and kind of go, okay, I'll watch it, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna pay attention to it because I may fall asleep.
Okay, fine. Well, then go back to Axxess for the 1 p.m. show.
Oh, then there you go.
We have the winner of the Dan Matha versus Drew Gulak match and the winner of the Mark Andrews Zach Gibson match. And we also, for some reason, have an Evolved Tag Team Championship match happening. Rich, what?
Yeah. Well, that's because they're all in bed with WWE, so you're gonna get not only the matches you see at the home shows, but they're gonna try to give you better versions of them at their own Axxess, just because. And that's not even excluding whatever the people they've signed and will debut at NXT Takeover.
Yeah, pretty much. Now I want to know how this company is gonna pull off a show, and it's CZW. I don't know how they're gonna do a show.
Oh boy!
Under the Louisiana guidelines, they're doing a show at the Sugar Mill right after Progress at 3 p.m. And we have the CZW Championship of Ricky Shane Page versus Ethan Page, Will Ospreay versus Desmond Xavier, Sami Callihan versus Joey Janela, what the fuck, and David Starr versus Drew Robinson. The Sami Callihan Joey Janela match is the one I worry about.
They're going to use theater blood.
It's a Combat Zone wrestling show. They're not allowed to have blood? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, are you guys on crack? Are you on all the crack, some of the crack? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't understand.
CZW, they're like, they're gonna bleed, or your money back. That's the rule.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Dad, your thoughts?
Here's the thing. I'm hoping that because of what they do, that the match and the show doesn't get shut down. But I guess we'll see what happens. Here's the thing: when you have an organization like Combat Zone Wrestling and they promote bloodshed, if you go there and there's no blood, I think as a fan of the organization, you're going to feel you didn't get your money's worth and walk out.
But are you prepared, though, after Bloodsport and there was no blood there?
No, probably not. Here's the thing. If you're going to a card and you expect at least one match, have some bloodshed, and you're there and you don't see any bloodshed on any match, you as a fan are going to go, well, I didn't get my money's worth, and I'm not going to go to another match because I didn't get what it was supposed to be, advertised. But once again, it's all in the little caveat, fine print, card subject to change. So just because we may mention blood in the circulars and the posters doesn't mean you're going to get blood.
Well, Louisiana says otherwise. Well, if you're not happy with the CCW show, because there's not going to be any blood, fine. Go back over to the Shimmer 100 over at the Convention Center. Go back over there, because we're getting Shimmer, and they're doing their 100 show, and it's Nicole Silva versus Mercedes Martinez. Who's here? Shanza McKenzie versus Tessa Blanchard, Nicole Matthews versus Toni Storm, and Madison Eagle versus Deonna Purrazzo. Rich, this is a hell of a show.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Shimmer. Seeing Nicole Savoy as the champ and her versus Mercedes Martinez, I thought after the women's tournament they could have done a good job as a tag team if they had stayed at WWE, because their combat style, I thought, matched up well. Shaza against Tesh, this would be good. And I haven't seen Madison Eagle, so I'll be interested to see how she does against Deonna Purrazzo.
I think the women are going to showcase this card, and you're going to see women do some excellent wrestling, probably better than their male counterparts with this show. So give it a chance.
Well, 6 p.m., back at Axxess, we have the UK Championship Invitational Finals, which I'm not going to read all those names again because there's no point. But the other match that's happening is Cassius Ohno versus Walter, Rich.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not fair. This isn't fair because they're doing it to themselves. You're making me choose between